I want to talk about destiny swapping. Come a little closer. Be careful of your teachers. Not everybody on TikTok that shares an opinion or a thought, even if it sounds like they're really convicted, like it's an absolute fact, it's not always an absolute fact. Be careful of your teachers. Destiny swapping is not a real thing. I came across someone in my TikTok live when I was doing readings, and this person wanted a reading to know if someone swapped their destiny with them. And I said, wait, hang on, tell me, what are you talking about? Explain this to me. And she did, and then I obviously had to debunk that myth. What we like to do is we like to replace one programming, our ego being attached to one type of programming with another, just giving it a different name, giving it different phrases, and then we take that same programming that kept us in bondage and kept us imprisoned, and also in a place where we lack accountability. The reason why people like religion so much and why so many still do is because they like the idea that there is something else responsible for all the bad things going on in the world and in their own life. That they don't have to be accountable, that they can just say, well, I am this, and then automatically that puts them up on a pedestal high above everybody else, and they can just project all of their rubbish on those who are beneath them. That is your ego running amok with you. The entire idea of destiny swapping is lack of accountability, lack of responsibility. It emphasizes the idea and your self-concept of powerlessness. It's also quite egotistical because it centers you. It means that everybody is focusing on you. It's the same thing. It's similar to when people come for readings and they want to know, did this person perform witchcraft with my guy? Because it's a third-party situation, and the reason why my person has decided to leave me to be with this person must be because she performed witchcraft, or somebody put a spell on him. That's why he can't think for himself. So what you're basically speaking into is the idea that you have no power, that somebody else has asserted something into your experience. You're not accountable for being in a relationship where someone clearly is not mature enough to make a decision for themselves, to make a responsible adult decision about matters of their heart. So you have chosen to be with someone that is willing to play with other people's emotions, and you just don't want to take accountability for the consequences that come with that. Everything is cause and effect. So it's easier, the idea that some kind of spell has been done, and that's why he can't think for himself or make good decisions, or she can't think for herself and make good decisions, is the only thing that makes sense to me. It comes from a place of powerlessness and centering yourself so much in everybody else's story, and not in a way that serves you, in a way that really strips not only you, but the people you're dealing with from their power. It's a lack of accountability. It's very, very simple. Okay, you have free will, but you also have destiny. Free will is the choice, the destiny is the destination. Free will is the road you take there. There are many roads, many paths to the same place. Free will is the road you take and the means of transport that you take. And whether you enjoy that or not, it's got to do with your choices. But the destiny is still there. You'll still get there. And then by the time you get to the destiny, you might be exhausted, frustrated, and your concepts of the world might be even more powerless, even more resentful, even more in the gutter, because you just chose a path that was harder. You chose to walk. I chose to drive. Right? I chose to stop along the way. You chose to rush. That impacts our energy. So when we get to the destination, you and I will get to the same destination, but we will have a different vibrational experience when we get there. We'll be tuned into a different channel within that destination. So you'll be at the same destination, but maybe you'll be calibrated to the energy of frustration. You're tuned into a different channel. You're going to have a different experience when you get there. I'm going to have a different experience when I get there. Accountability is important. You create your own reality. It's physics, law and effect. When you make choices expecting that you are going to be the exception to the rule, and finding it easier to find some evil force outside of yourself that's responsible for all the unwanted things happening in your life, as opposed to recognizing that I'm doing stupid things. I'm doing things that don't serve me. I'm doing things that are not in alignment with my bigger picture, and I'm wondering why this is so much hard work. I'm expecting everybody and everything in the universe to yield to me, to my limitations, because I'm not willing to break through, work through, and move past those limitations. Destiny swapping and the entire idea that somebody else can take what's meant for you is ludicrous, because let me tell you, they don't want it. They don't need what's meant for you. That is also comes from a mindset that I am superior. So I am in a better position than everybody else, and therefore they want what I have. It's not true. No, honey, your ego is totally leading you astray. We all have access to source. We all are God in a human body. We are all fragments of consciousness, of source, of the God force, of the universe. We all have access to that stream of well-being. We all have a beautiful destiny that we've chosen, we've preordained before we came here. There is no one sitting around looking for, who has a better destiny than me? I want hers. I want what she's got. I want what he's got. No, they're too busy trying to figure all their stuff out, the mess and the challenges they have that stands between them and their destiny. We're all here doing our own thing. And honestly, people are too busy trying to find peace with themselves and happiness with themselves to be focused on adopting your stuff, because that is not possible in our reality. It's not a possibility. But the fact that you believe that, and that anybody teaches you that, and then it just fits into the old programming where religion taught you that, well, there is a man in the sky deciding if you have goodness, if you're deserving of it, and maybe you're favored and someone else is not. And there's also this dark force that is so much more powerful than that man in the sky that can just come and wreak havoc, and it's not your fault. It's this darkness. And so everybody that you decide that is attached to that darkness is responsible for the bad things happening in your life. You're just giving your power away. And any teacher that teaches you that, and if you found yourself falling into the trap of feeling like, yeah, that makes sense, that is your ego. This is why New Age spirituality is a tricky thing. It's not good, it's not bad, it's not better, it's not worse. But the idea that we can obtain enlightenment without actually sitting with our crap and deprogramming, because you're just replacing one programming, what you're plugged into. You're just replacing the wording, the concept with the very same program, which is lack of accountability, avoidance of your shadows, your fears, your programming, and the things that have kept you stuck. Not every spiritual teacher is an initiate. They've not been initiated as a spiritual teacher, and they're regurgitating what other people say, which is also what people who are religious, follow religious propaganda do. They're not tuned into and connected to the Spirit, not the Holy Spirit. They're just repeating what somebody else told them, that they decided, okay, your word is more important than this person because I decide you're good and they're bad. And they're regurgitating it without actually sitting with that and doing the introspection and asking Spirit, show me, how does this feel? Where am I? They don't have the language or the insight to be able to look into it and actually really be critical about it. Like, does this make sense? Will this serve people if I share this with them? They're just regurgitating stuff. Do not give people your power. No one can take your destiny. If you don't like your life, you need to change it. You're the only one that can, and you're the only one that's responsible.